Hey people. I've decided to do an impromptu video detailing the entire record collection. So I'm going to try and just follow, not to copy you here, Anthony, but I like your idea. I'm going to follow Anthony Fantano in what he did and just do 10-minute segments going through alphabetically and just kind of saying what I like about the records that I have. So, here we go. See, and just thinking about doing this video, this is going to be a longer one because they're all probably going to be longer, let's be honest. But I just want to explain, you know, like it made me realize thinking about this, just going through alphabetically, how I have my soundtracks at the beginning. Just, I never noticed that before. Why did I put my soundtracks there? I think I'm just going to keep my soundtracks at the beginning of the collection. Not that I'm going to buy many more, but, you know. Thought that was cool. And I keep all my jazz and classical at the end. And that's not even alphabetized because it's such a small portion, but I'm going to run with that. Anyway, starting from the beginning here, I guess not alphabetically, we've got the soundtrack to 2001: A Space Odyssey, the fantastic film by Stanley Kubrick. And if you're familiar with that fantastic film at all, you're aware that it features a very interesting score. And I love having this on vinyl, not only for that, but also for having the concept artwork as the artwork for the album. Like, look at this. But yeah, it's the film features classical music, like to images like this, you know, and it's quite the story as well. If you haven't seen that movie and you're watching my videos, you might be in the wrong place. No, it's not true. You're in the right place, but watch that movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's a little slow, but it's one of the best movies ever made, if not the best movie ever made. I got this just because it had a different, and see, it's coming out, the David Bowie obsession. Yeah, I got this soundtrack just because it had the original soundtrack version of the Cat People theme song, which had David Bowie singing. And you know what, the rest of the music is interesting, but I never saw the movie. Maybe I'd like it if I did, but never saw it. Cool artwork though. I feel like the back of it looks like a Daft Punk album or like a Weekend album with the writing and the tree and the cats in it, you know. Anyway. Cat People, good song. Don't know if it's a good movie, I didn't watch it. Next up here we got some Al Green, Greatest Hits. A fantastic musician. This album, if you haven't gotten into this guy, I would recommend getting this album, just because it's a good mix of hits and just genuinely funky, groovy, soulful, mellow music. Nice old vintage Motown sleeve. And yeah, that's one of the things that I like about these old records, is that you always get these awesome vintage labels. You know what I mean? High Records. And you just know that's like one offshoot or runoff of some bigger company, right? Like, it's kind of just funny to think about how many record labels existed at one point or another. Onward. I don't have any of their other music, but I intend to get it because this album has really perked my ear onto them, and I was paying attention for a while, but lost interest. Arctic Monkeys, Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. Really fantastic album. I gotta show you the art here real quick because the packaging was really well done, really nice, kind of matte, reflective surface, not like too glossy. Some weird control panel, you know, to what that, you know, this machine I imagine. And you open it up and this gatefold's awesome. You get this picture of Alex, the singer and guitar player, kind of fearfully, woefully, you know, interacting with this machine. And it kind of just sets the tone for the album if you haven't listened to it, just seeing that initially. Very, very cool album. Definitely worth checking out. Now this is an album that I got in a trade, and I had never heard of this band. I haven't heard anything else from them because I'm a lazy piece of shit. But Armageddon. Cool, like, 70s band. I think this album came out in 1973 or 72. But this album opens up with just a blazing guitar solo. Like, the first time I heard it, it literally kind of blew my mind. I was thinking, like, holy shit. Like, what is this? And why have I never heard of them before? You know, why aren't these guys huge? And it turns out they, you know, nice little insert here with the band and the lyrics. It turns out they weren't, you know, unheard of, but I just hadn't heard of them, right? 1975, okay, so mid-70s. But yeah, really, really cool hard metal sound, and they, you know, they were a little softer at points too, reminded me of some Tesla and some Led Zeppelin. Onward. A Beatles record here that my friend had gotten me as a gift for my birthday, and this is always fun to listen to. It's the only Beatles record I have, and I'm a big fan of them, so I'd like to get more of their music, and this was a great introduction to having records from them. It's got a couple of great songs on it. Like 8 Days a Week. It's the only one I'm familiar with here, but you know, the rest of the songs on this album, they were good. I enjoyed it. Sorry, I won't be smoking necessarily for all these videos unless I choose to make a habit out of it. I'm not intending to. It's Sledgehammer by Boris Gardner. This, a bit of a story behind getting this album. I did respite work for my dad at one point, and one of the other respite workers, he left a box of records on my doorstep because he didn't want them, or they're his mom's and she didn't want them, and he knew that I collected records or something. So I woke up and I kind of like shamefully, you know, admit I woke up to a box of like wet records sitting in the rain, right? How could someone do that? Horrible, right? And in there were some really good records. I think the Al Green was one of the ones in there, as well as Boris Gardner here. And this is just some really cool, like, Motown reggae, like, funky, groovy, easy, kind of easy listening, but, like, well made, not just kind of, like, fluffy either. And I just love the artwork on this album. The cover is just this man breaking rocks, right? Like, he's just, like, that's, like, power in one image. And it's called Sledgehammer, right? And it's got this awesome font. It reminds me of those shirts that they're making now, where it's like Bobby's first knife fight, you know, like. And then the image on the back here is just super iconic. Like, I imagine having like a large, blown up version of this would be awesome to hang, you know. And again, the same font, just like overall really awesome, nice sturdy packaging. Like, this is old. This is, like, when did this come out? 1975. It's you know, it's older than me. There's no sleeve on this bad boy, unfortunately. But I love that kind of like powdered silver label. It's hard to see, but it's a really cool look. Record's in surprisingly good shape considering there's no sleeve. I should get on that and buy some sleeves, but again, lazy piece of shit. We're coming close here to 10 minutes, pretty much right on the mark. I'll probably record another video right now because I have nothing else to do.